Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. As you can see from the title of this video, I will be talking about Martell Holtz charges. I know that you all have heard about it. Some amazing content creators have been going live tonight, and more will go live later on tonight to cover this story. The angle that I am taking for this video are the reasons why I think these charges are for the revenge P. Now, before we get into some information, of course, I am Ebony, and I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. Also, hashtag me too, share it with other women because I just feel it in my heart that that's what it is for. And of course, I did some Google searches and I'm going to share all of that with you. Sharing the video, liking the video actually causes YouTube to recommend this video to more people who enjoy not only conversing about Love and Marriage Huntsville, the various topics that come about, but also important subjects, things like harassment and trying to threaten people, because it gives other people who have experienced similar things some hope and some strength to fight back and to not put up with it. All right, so let's get right down to business. So I know that you all have seen this mugshot. I know that you've seen it on Instagram. Shout out to the Melody Holt fan page. And again, all of the amazing content creators. I went to the gym after work and I was sitting on, because I was doing my cool down. So I was sitting on the bike and I just grabbed my phone and I pulled up Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh. So I was thankful that I was at the tail end of my workout. I messaged a cousin and a friend and then ended up talking on the phone with a college classmate. So yes, so here we are. Of course, you can see it has some basic information about Martell, him being a Black male, born in January of 1982. He just turned 42 years old, and he was booked just today at 4 p.m. Central Time, just a few hours ago. Huntsville Police Department, they were the arresting agency, and the charge description is for domestic violence, third degree, and harassing communications. So I want to get into those charges because I was wondering, domestic violence, automatically my mind went to a physical altercation, something in the physical. And then when I thought of harassing communications, I was wondering, is that some sort of subtopic of the revenge P? So then I was in conflict because I thought, well, domestic violence, if that's in the physical, it has to be related to coleslaw. But if it is of the revenge P, then we know that thankfully he's been arrested for the alleged revenge P regarding Melody. So let's get into the next slide. So I did a Google search on what is harassing communication charges in Alabama. And this website for Alabama criminal lawyers did appear in the Google search. And under the subtopic harassing communications charges in Alabama, it reads, yet another type of harassment charge that exists in the state of Alabama is harassing communications that occur when an individual intends to annoy or harass another individual and uses any mode of communication, including phone or postal mail, to perform this harassment. So definitely the harassment communications, it is surrounding when a person intends to annoy or harass another person using a cell phone or postal mail. So it could be letters, it could be text messages, it could even be emails sent through a cell phone, a device. So then once I read that definition, I was thinking to myself, I was leaning more towards revenge P. And then when I take a look at, so obviously my next Google search was, what is third degree domestic violence in Alabama? Because that was the other phrase that we saw under the charge description. A person commits the crime of domestic violence in the third degree if he or she commits the crime of harassing communications and the victim is a current or former spouse, parent, child, any person with whom the defendant has a child in common, a present or former household member, or a person who has or had a dating relationship with them. Now, you may think, well, he has kids with both Melody as well as Coleslaw. And, depends on who you ask and when you ask, you could say that he is acting as if he's dating Coleslaw. But Coleslaw, I don't think that she's reporting him to any law enforcement agency for Revenge P. So, in my opinion, that automatically X's her out. But Melody, she would qualify obviously for being the former spouse and being a person whom the defendant has a child in common. And also, the third degree domestic violence charge in Alabama, it has to be in conjunction, it sounds like, because it's a person who commits the crime of domestic violence in the third degree if he commits the crime of harassing communications and the victim is a current or former spouse. So it sounds like in order for them to book him on alleged Revenge P, they had to get him on both. They had to prove the harassing communications, which is even just the intent to annoy or harass someone using a phone or postal mail. And then you're also able to tag on third degree domestic violence. So if anyone intends to try and carry out Revenge P on someone, that's obviously, well, I'm not even going to say obviously, in my opinion, from what I've read, that is considered third degree domestic violence. So definitely, I DM'd both Melody and Carlos King asking if their teams will release statements regarding Martell's arrest. If they released formal statements, even if it was just on their Instagram stories for all of us bloggers and media outlets to obtain and share with all of you. I don't know if we'll get statements, if it'll be tonight or tomorrow, but I did DM them asking for those. Obviously, this will be discussed during season 7, even if it is something that production for Love and Marriage Huntsville tries to ignore. With all of the bone carrying that Kimmy likes to do, she better bring up this arrest. If the men are going to try and cape for Martell, bone carrier Kimmy better bring it up so that it is a part of the discussion. Or definitely Nell and Chris Fletcher, it has to be brought up. Don't just talk about it in scenes with Melody one-on-one, but talk about it in group scenes, especially, whenever Martell will join the cast. I don't know if filming does not start until Carlos's podcast tour kickoff on January 21st, or if they will start filming before that. I have a feeling that if the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville is not already filming, that they will begin filming this week for season 7, absolutely. All right, so I have to also say that it is a relief because I am believing that he is arrested tonight on the alleged Revenge P. And that's just a relief for anyone who has ever been, I've been a victim of sexual harassment on the job. In my opinion, the person, they're very aggressive. And once they see that you are not interested, then they actually start harassing you, And so it's just very disheartening. It's very stressful. You only want to be seen for your worth. You don't want to be seen as like a slut or just someone that they think that they can just touch without your permission and make you feel uncomfortable. You get a different, you look at men differently and you get a different sense. It's almost like you get a sixth sense when it comes to them because of how some of them move when they're the harassing type. So I feel like with this arrest, you know, I'm so happy for Melody, and I feel like it's an arrest for all of us who has ever been stalked, harassed, disrespected, or if you're out at the bar and you're trying to politely ignore them and then they get nasty with it. All of that. This is a win for all of us. You all let me know in the comments what you all think. I'm just I'm elated, and we definitely have to see how this plays out. I want to hear from you all in the comments. Definitely keep Melody Cherie Rogers uplifted in prayer and just ask God to divinely protect her. And, all of us bloggers who speak from the heart and speak in favor and support of her, pray for us too, because some mean, negative spirits, they may be very angry that this is getting covered, because, and also it causes Carlos King, he has to do the right thing. He has to discuss it. I said this in a previous video. If we were still in the Me Too movement heyday, it would be a done deal for Martell. They would have had to get rid of him from the show. I remember on Scandal when Columbus Short, he played Harrison the first 3 seasons of Scandal. Scandal used to be popping. But when he had the alleged allegation of domestic abuse and being in the clubs and getting physical with people, Shonda Rhimes, she had no problems about, removing him from the show as an actor, and they unalived his character. So there was like no coming back, okay? And I just feel like that is the type of integrity that is needed in this situation. So Carlos, do the right thing. Like, I get it. There's the whole concept of favoritism, but at some point, you have to do the right thing. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he talked about like when you don't speak up, you are complicit. When you do not speak up against wrong, you are just as wrong. You are complicit. And you were just saying yesterday about how Dr. Simone, she called you a blogger. You did not like that. You're all these things. If you're all these things, the owner of a multi-million-dollar entertainment company, and you are a producer and a journalist, do the right thing. Make sure that this is adequately discussed during season 7 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And why not demand that he get some sort of real therapy, real treatment, not just for the show, not just for the cameras? What's wrong with him taking, after he discusses these charges for season 7, what's wrong with him taking some time to get his head straight? Do the right thing, Carlos. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know that this is huge and it's heavy and it's a lot. But I'm definitely going to be hashtagging Me Too. And I hope you all are doing great. And tomorrow will be a wonderful Wednesday. All right, you be safe, and I will talk with you soon. Please hit the like button. Goodbye.